friendship that'll never ever end.
Yowie wowie, it feels good to make these videos again because last week we didn't get a Firefly Fun House, but this week Raw was Fun House packed and I loved it. And of course there was lots of stuff that you might have missed from this week's Firefly Fun House and Bray Wyatt match. So we had to make another video compiling it all together. This is very interesting. But where do we start? Puppet Watch! It's back! Of course, this week on Monday Night Raw, we had another sighting of a Funhouse puppet. This time, it was Husker Pig Boy, hiding behind Randy Orton, again stalking the Viper. This has been a trend on Raw now for a few weeks. Randy is definitely in the sights of Bray Wyatt. Now, obviously we expected something at the end of the Drew versus Randy match. Nothing happened. We did, however, get the new WWE champion in Drew McIntyre. So, obviously we could have got a Fiend interference, but we didn't. And I feel like that's because something else is coming. The fact we're seeing the puppet still appear behind Randy Orton says that the Fiend is still watching. Now, this happened after this. The Fiend appearing on the screen with Bray and Alexa on the ramp heading to the back. Now, this to me says like, hey, look, I've got something for you. Got to do this. I'm the demon. I'm in charge. I'm about to tell you what to do. I'm about to give you a message and you've got to go in and complete that mission for me. That's the kind of vibe I got. Mainly because the way Bray and Alexa responded to the Fiend appearing was that. It's static shock. They literally froze still, staring at their master. That's the vibe I got anyway. Before this, don't forget, they was laughing, joking. Alexa was doing the funny wave. You might have missed that as well. But then, of course, this laughing and joking, it all went away. The second the Fiend appeared on that screen, it stopped. They were focused. And I think there's a reason why. If it wasn't for the Randy Orton match, you gotta believe it's for the Undertaker. Is the Fiend focused on this Sunday for Survivor Series? It's the Undertaker's final farewell, so it makes it the Fiend's final chance to right the wrong in this story of his career with the Undertaker. It does make poetic sense. We'll see. Well, this week on Raw, we got Bray Wyatt versus The Miz. Believe it or not, it's the very first time we've seen Funhouse Bray wrestle that's not on pay-per-view. Worth mentioning. It's not the first time that Bray Wyatt as Funhouse Bray, however, has wrestled The Miz. It happened at TLC last year. Now, interestingly, when Bray Wyatt faced The Miz last year, he was in the middle of a feud with Daniel Bryan. And instead, Daniel Bryan was busy with The Fiend, hence The Fiend couldn't wrestle The Miz. Maybe that's why Funhouse Bray wrestled The Miz again this week on Raw, because The Fiend is very busy planning whatever he's planning. And if that is The Undertaker, I promise you I'm probably never making a video again because I'm probably going to die of literal cardiac arrest or something because I will go absolutely crazy. We did, however, for the first time see Alexa Bliss's Titantron. Of course, you can see her name turn to red, and almost like it started to drip away. Really, really cool effect to her Tron. New music as well was included, and when she came out, she had the Fiend eyes on the background. Really stood out, really looked cool. I can't believe this is the first time we've actually seen Alexa's entrance. You gotta believe that this is definitely a sign of her turning into that female Fiend character. That transformation is continuing within Alexa Bliss. Again, she had that logo on the front of her attire. It's her old logo, but just with a new mix with the black and obviously the pink outline. I still feel like that would be cool for a mask. If they could make that Alexa's mask, that could be really, really cool. I mean, I'd buy one. I'm just a Funhouse nut, so I'd buy it. We had an interview backstage with Nikki Cross, where Nikki Cross basically said that Alexa was being hypnotized. And I wanted to mention this because we always theorize about what happens to Alexa. Well, Nikki seemed very sure that Bray Wyatt has hypnotized Alexa Bliss, and I think that's a good way to explain it. I know some people do have a problem with the whole supernatural thing and the Fiend injecting himself into people. Well, maybe you can get around it like that. Maybe Nikki is, however, very innocent and believes that, but that's maybe not what is going on. I think the Fiend needs that paranormal supernatural entity about him, so I'm not bothered by it. But then we saw Nikki come out, and of course she was trying to stop Alexa Bliss. It seemingly worked. Alexa was like, "You're right, Nikki," until she basically just slapped her in the face, and the two started brawling on the middle of the Raw stage. Absolutely brilliant, because now we got the confirmation. Alexa and Nikki are definitely going to be having some kind of feud. Brilliant. That's exactly what we wanted. I think it's the best way to establish Alexa's dark character. I'm all for it. Maybe a big match at TLC's on the card. I'd be okay with it. I really would. But how can we not mention the look of death that Bray Wyatt gave Nikki Cross? When Bray Wyatt came out from having his entrance to have his match with The Miz, he looked at Nikki like she'd literally stole money off him or something. He does not like Nikki Cross. And it kind of makes sense when you think of what happened during The Miz match, where Bray basically got in the face of The Miz and said, "Do not talk to her." Bray does not want people talking to Alexa. For whatever reason, he's very protective. Whether he's scared she might come out of that hypnosis trance, maybe, who knows? But that's a really cool way to sort of explain this. Nikki's trying to take Alexa away from Bray. Why would Bray then like Nikki Cross? And it's a cool way to sort of go into this place where Bray Wyatt tells Alexa Bliss what to do and to destroy Nikki Cross, basically. We did obviously get the Firefly Fun House episode earlier on Raw. I told you, Raw was packed with Funhouse stuff, and this Funhouse was no different at all. Of course, we got Bray Wyatt training for his match with The Miz, and during that we got these screens, which I know some of you do like, so I'm just thought I'd include them on this Things You Might Have Missed video. Of course, we got the image of Abby the Witch wearing Miz's glasses, and of course, Rambling Rabbit with his Miz Funko Pop. I think that's the official Funko Pop, so that's the second action figure into the Funhouse. We've had Seth Rollins before. Rambling Rabbit pushed Miz's Funko Pop off the window ledge, but we also saw Bray Wyatt throw a dart through the heart of Rambling Rabbit. Now, interesting. The dart has a American flag on it. Of course, Undertaker's known as the American Badass. Everything in the Firefly Fun House means something. So, obviously, he could have had Funhouse-style darts. They could have sold them on WWE shop. But they're American for a reason. Could this be Bray Wyatt driving a dart through the critics' hearts because the critics wouldn't want him to spoil Undertaker's farewell? Possible. Of course, during the match, we captured this screen grab of Bray Wyatt and The Miz. Yep, I had to include this because it's just the funniest image of 2020 in WWE. I genuinely think that is hilarious. It's the exact moment Miz fucked up. We saw Alexa Bliss jump at John Morrison. Of course, she was defending Bray Wyatt. She jumped off the stairs. She cross-bodied Morrison all the way over the announce table, the guardrail. And of course, Morrison was never seen again. Alexa absolutely murdered him. R.I.P. John Morrison. But that was just hilarious. And I thought it was a cool little nod that Alexa will do anything for Bray Wyatt. Obviously putting her own body on the line. What a great symbolism of doing just that. Now, another thing from the Firefly Fun House is that Alexa Bliss is wearing her play and pain gloves. Bray Wyatt is not wearing his hurt and heal gloves. And I just find it strange that you very, very rarely, I don't think we've ever seen Bray wear his and Alexa wear hers. And maybe that's a sign that only one of them can be the Fiend. Only one of them can have that power at any one time. Maybe that's a little bit out there, but it's just exactly what we're seeing. We're just trying to look at things we might have missed and things in the future that may be relevant to something. Overall, I think Bray adds so much to Monday Night Raw. This Raw was amazing. The matches itself was really good, but just the constant Funhouse stuff is just so good, so good. And WWE need to do more of it. Genuinely, they do. I'm 100% sure that there's more to come with Randy Orton, but I still believe this was something. The Fiend was telling Funhouse Bray, Alexa, look, joke's over now. It's time to get serious. And he was telling them it for a reason. And I hope it's The Undertaker. We'll see on Sunday. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If there's anything you think I missed, let me know in the comments. Of course, like the video, share the video. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at CWrestlingUK. And I will see you as always next time. Peace!